Hey there, and welcome to English Listening Practice. I'm Grace, and today we're diving into something that touches all of our lives: social media addiction. Have you ever found yourself picking up your phone just to check one notification, and then suddenly realizing an hour has disappeared? Or maybe you've felt that strange anxiety when your phone isn't within reach. If so, you're definitely not alone. Did you know that the average person touches their phone an astonishing 617 times every single day? That's right, almost every few seconds. Our hands instinctively reach for these devices. Even more shocking is that people around the world spend an average of 7 hours daily glued to their screens. Just imagine what you could accomplish with those 7 hours if they weren't consumed by endless scrolling. In the United States, folks spend between 7 to 8 hours daily on their phones. In India, it's about 7 hours and 30 minutes each day dedicated to social media and online contact. Bangladeshis spend almost 6.5 hours, Canadians over 6 to 7 hours, and in South Korea, people spend a staggering 8 hours daily on their devices. When you really stop to think about it, that's a third of our waking hours gone. But what exactly are we doing during all this time? Most of us are simply scrolling through Instagram, watching videos on TikTok, binging content on YouTube, or streaming shows on Netflix. The real question we need to ask ourselves is, what is this constant digital consumption doing to us? For many, studies are suffering. Focus becomes nearly impossible to maintain. Careers stall as productivity plummets. Remember those hobbies you once loved? They've probably faded into distant memories. Passions get buried under the weight of notifications. Dreams and goals collect dust while business opportunities slip through distracted fingers. And perhaps most concerning of all, our minds are growing weaker, our attention spans shrinking with each swipe and scroll. Here's a question worth considering. Could you live without your phone for just 1 hour? For many people, the honest answer is no. Take away their devices, and anxiety, frustration, and even anger quickly surface. This isn't normal behavior, it's classic addiction. Think about it, people take their phones to the bathroom. They check notifications before they've even brushed their teeth in the morning. Family time, vacations, personal passions, all of these precious aspects of life get overshadowed by the allure of the screen. Now, here's something truly eye-opening. Scientists have begun comparing social media addiction to dependencies on drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and gambling. This isn't merely opinion, it's backed by scientific research. Just as a drug addict craves their next hit, social media users desperately await their next notification. Similar to how gambling keeps people trapped in cycles of hope and disappointment, social media keeps us scrolling endlessly. And just as alcohol can damage the brain over time, social media usage actually changes our brain's reward system. The cycle is painfully simple. You open your phone, scroll through content, experience a momentary dopamine hit, and continue scrolling. Minutes effortlessly transform into hours, and before you know it, half your day has vanished, never to be reclaimed. This addiction isn't unique to you or me. It's a global phenomenon affecting millions, including celebrities, billionaires, and highly successful individuals. Take Tom Holland, the actor famous for portraying Spider-Man. He once admitted in an interview that he had become completely obsessed with social media. Every time he posted something, he found himself compulsively checking his phone again and again, anxiously monitoring the likes and comments rolling in. This behavior made him increasingly anxious and insecure, eventually leading him to delete social media apps from his phone altogether for the sake of his mental health. But why does this happen? What makes social media so incredibly addictive? When you open Instagram, what fills your screen? Perhaps someone posting glamorous photos from Paris. Maybe someone showing off their brand new car. You might see couples sharing seemingly perfect relationship moments or friends celebrating major life achievements. And what's your natural response? Comparison. You begin asking yourself, why am I not traveling to exciting destinations? Why don't I have a new car? Why isn't my relationship picture perfect? Why haven't I achieved similar success? This constant comparison inevitably makes you feel inadequate about your own life circumstances. But here's the critical truth we all need to remember. Social media is largely an illusion. People carefully curate their online presence, showing only their best moments while concealing their struggles. They apply filters to enhance their appearance and make everything seem better than reality. Even celebrities and influencers edit their photos extensively to appear more attractive. Yet our brains don't naturally differentiate between curated content and reality. We tend to believe what we see. This explains why scrolling often leaves us feeling like our own lives aren't measuring up. And when we feel bad about ourselves, what do we typically do? We scroll more. We search for more content, more entertainment, more distractions. This is where the true problem begins: dopamine addiction. Here's another question worth pondering. Can you watch a 30-minute educational video without feeling bored or restless? Most people struggle with this. Yet those same individuals can easily watch 31-minute videos back to back. Why is this the case? The answer lies in how our brains process dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical in your brain that creates feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. It's released when you eat your favorite food, accomplish something meaningful, or receive likes and comments on your social media posts. Social media platforms have essentially hacked this system, providing small rewards consistently and instantaneously. Dopamine boost. A new like. Another dopamine boost. A comment on your post. Yet another dopamine boost. With each scroll, your brain receives a small hit of this pleasure chemical, much like a drug addict requiring increasingly larger doses to feel good. You gradually need more scrolling, more videos, and more likes to experience satisfaction. Research suggests that social media is intentionally designed to be as addictive as gambling. When you pull down on your screen to refresh your feed, your brain reacts similarly to a gambler pulling the lever on a slot machine. The uncertainty of what might appear next creates excitement that keeps you hooked in an endless loop of anticipation and brief reward. This explains why we find it so difficult to stop scrolling, and why we don't develop similar addictions to activities like studying, exercising, or meditation. These beneficial activities provide slow, delayed rewards rather than instant gratification. If you study today, you don't immediately become successful. Exercise once, and you won't instantly develop visible abs. Meditation requires consistent practice before you notice significant benefits. Social media, however, delivers instant pleasure, immediate entertainment, and instantaneous dopamine. This fundamental difference explains why developing good habits feels challenging, while bad habits form effortlessly. Social media essentially tricks your brain into prioritizing temporary pleasure over long-term success and fulfillment. By now, you probably understand that social media addiction is a very real phenomenon, and it's not entirely your fault. Teams of brilliant engineers, psychologists, and data scientists work tirelessly to ensure you remain hooked. Consider how the algorithms function. Watch one video, and the system immediately recommends similar content, like a post, and you'll see more of the same category. Scroll through TikTok or Instagram Reels, and the next video loads automatically, no clicking required. These applications are strategically designed to capture and control your attention. For these companies, your attention translates directly into profit. But for you, the cost is tremendous: lost time, wasted energy, destroyed focus, and a real life that gradually slips away. The million-dollar question now becomes, how do you escape this trap? How do you break free from social media addiction? Don't worry, I'll share some practical strategies that can help. Step 1. Understand that social media is designed as a trap. The first crucial step toward breaking free is recognizing that these platforms are deliberately engineered to keep you engaged for as long as possible. They don't want you to use their app for just 10 minutes. They want you scrolling for hours. The longer you stay, the more advertising revenue they generate. Meanwhile, what do you lose? Your dreams, your future, your life. Before picking up your phone, ask yourself one simple question. Am I using social media, or is social media using me? If you realize that social media has taken control of your behavior, it's definitely time for change. Step 2. Turn off notifications. Think about how many times your phone alerts you throughout the day. New message, new comment. Someone liked your post. Each notification pulls your attention away from whatever you were doing. According to research, once your focus is broken, it takes approximately 23 minutes to fully concentrate again. That's a significant cost for each interruption. If you're serious about reclaiming control of your life, take action right now. Go to your phone settings and disable notifications for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and any other social apps. You don't need to know about every like, comment, or new video the moment it happens. This single change alone can save you countless hours each day. Step 3. Implement the 5-second rule. Most people don't even consciously register. When they reach for their phones, the movement happens automatically, like a reflex. Here's a simple technique to interrupt this pattern: the 5-second rule. Whenever you feel the urge to check social media, count backward in your mind: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then ask yourself, do I actually need to open this app right now? Or is this just a habitual response? More often than not, you'll realize it's merely habit driving your behavior, not genuine necessity. Step 4. Set specific time limits for social media usage. Consider this. The average person spends 7 hours daily on their phone. That adds up to approximately 210 hours per month, or 87 full days annually. Imagine what you could accomplish in that time: learning a new skill, launching a business, traveling the world, or pursuing your deepest passions. Establish clear boundaries for your social media consumption. Decide exactly how many minutes you'll allow yourself each day, perhaps 30 minutes total. Set a timer, and when time's up, close the apps without exception. You might consider using app blockers that automatically prevent access once your daily limit has been reached. Step 5. Replace digital scrolling with real-life activities. Most people turn to social media simply because they're bored or seeking stimulation. The solution: Fill your life with meaningful activities that engage your mind and body in the real world. Go outside regularly, take walks, visit parks, or plan trips to new places. Read books that provide genuine knowledge and perspective, unlike the empty calories of endless scrolling. Learn something new, perhaps a language, cooking skills, a musical instrument, or any subject that intrigues you. Make an effort to connect with real people, call friends, spend quality time with family members, engage in genuine conversations. Incorporate regular exercise into your routine to boost your mood naturally. The more fulfilling real-life activities you pursue, the less you'll feel drawn to the hollow satisfaction of social media. Step 6. Make your phone less appealing and harder to access. Have you ever wondered why you constantly check your device? Part of the answer lies in its deliberately attractive design. Let's counteract this by making your phone visually boring. Set your screen to grayscale, removing the colorful elements specifically designed to grab your attention. Move all social media apps into a hidden folder so they're not immediately visible when you unlock your screen. Log out completely after each use, creating additional friction that makes mindless reopening more difficult. These small adjustments significantly reduce temptation and help you maintain control. Step 7. Challenge yourself to a 7-day social media detox. If you're truly interested in experiencing how much better life can be without constant digital distractions, try this experiment: delete all social media apps from your phone for 1 full week. During these 7 days, focus entirely on real life. Spend quality time with loved ones. Work toward meaningful goals. Enjoy better sleep quality. Read books that expand your mind. Exercise regularly. Appreciate the world around you without viewing it through a screen. After completing this week-long detox, you'll likely notice that you feel happier, calmer, and more focused than before. Most importantly, you'll realize that you never actually needed social media as much as you believed. This perspective shift can be incredibly liberating. Remember this fundamental truth: your time is your most valuable asset. Social media companies are essentially trying to steal this precious resource from you. But now you understand their tactics and can protect yourself effectively. Let me ask you something important to reflect on. If today were your last day on Earth, would you feel satisfied with how you've spent your time? Would you feel proud that you dedicated countless hours to scrolling through Instagram, watching TikTok videos, or obsessively checking likes and comments? Or would you wish you had invested your limited time in more meaningful pursuits? This is your one and only life. And here's the sobering reality: time waits for no one. Every second wasted on mindless social media consumption is a second you will never get back. Let me share a brief story about 2 best friends, Alex and Ryan. Alex was constantly glued to his phone, checking social media throughout the day. Ryan, however, made a conscious decision to quit social media and focus entirely on his personal goals. 5 years later, their lives looked remarkably different. Alex remained essentially in the same place: no significant progress, no meaningful success, just more wasted time. Ryan, on the other hand, had built an impressive career, traveled to numerous countries, and created an extraordinary life for himself. Why such different outcomes? Because Ryan understood one crucial fact that Alex overlooked: time is incredibly precious. Alex squandered his time, assuming he had plenty to spare. But time is like sand slipping through your fingers. If you don't use it wisely, One day you'll wake up to discover it's gone forever. Take a moment right now to honestly assess how much time you're really wasting. Pull out your phone, go to Settings, then Screen Time, and check how many hours you currently spend on social media each day. Let's say it's 5 hours. Now, let's do some simple math to understand what this really means for your life. 5 hours daily equals 35 hours weekly. 35 hours weekly equals 140 hours monthly. 140 hours monthly equals 1,680 hours yearly. That's equivalent to 70 full days of your life vanishing every single year. Just imagine what you could accomplish in 70 days of focused effort. You could learn an entirely new skill, launch a business venture, become fluent in another language, transform your physical fitness, completely change the trajectory of your future. Instead, many people unconsciously choose to sacrifice this potential on the altar of social media consumption. Here's a hard truth worth confronting. Do you sometimes feel like you're not making meaningful progress in life? Perhaps you have dreams and aspirations, but you feel perpetually stuck. You want to achieve success, but you're unsure how to get there. You desire change, but nothing seems to happen. The uncomfortable reality is that your phone may be quietly stealing your future. Every hour spent on social media represents one less hour available to change your life for the better. If you don't adjust your habits today, 5 years from now you might find yourself in exactly the same position, wondering why your circumstances never improved. Take a moment to imagine a different kind of life. Close your eyes and envision waking up each morning without immediately reaching for your phone. Picture yourself with crystal, clear goals, abundant motivation, and laser-like focus. Imagine dedicating time to learning, growing, and building a future you're excited about. Visualize living a life where you feel completely in control, rather than being manipulated by notifications, likes, and comments. This better life is absolutely possible, but only if you take decisive action now. Ultimately, you face two fundamental choices. You can continue wasting precious time on social media, keep scrolling mindlessly, remain unmotivated, and essentially live the same unfulfilling life day after day. Or you can take back control, delete unnecessary apps, use your time intentionally, and work consistently toward your goals, dreams, and ideal future. The choice is completely yours to make. But remember this: one day, you will inevitably look back at your life and ask yourself some profound questions. Did you truly live your life, or did you merely scroll through it? Did you actively pursue your dreams, or did you waste your limited time watching others live theirs? Did you make the most of each day, or did you allow social media to steal countless hours you can never recover? The time to make positive changes isn't someday in the distant future. It's not tomorrow, next week, or one day. The perfect time to begin is right now, in this moment. What will you choose to do today? Will you continue down the path of wasting your precious time? Or will you start building the life you genuinely desire and deserve? I hope this episode has given you some valuable insights and practical strategies for breaking free from social media addiction. If you've enjoyed this content and found it helpful, please consider subscribing to English Listening Practice for more episodes that will help you improve your language skills while also providing useful life insights. Don't forget to share this episode with friends who might benefit from it. And leave a comment letting me know what actions you're planning to take to reduce your social media usage. Your engagement helps this podcast grow and reach more people who can benefit from these important messages. Until next time, remember that your time is precious, spend it wisely. This is Grace from English Listening Practice, signing off. But wait, we're just getting started. Social media addiction is a complex issue that deserves deeper exploration. Let's dive further into understanding why these platforms have such a powerful hold on our minds and what additional strategies we can implement to regain control. Have you ever wondered why certain apps are more addictive than others? The answer lies in a concept called variable reward schedules. This psychological principle was discovered by B.F. Skinner, who found that behaviors are strengthened when rewards are unpredictable. Social media platforms deliberately harness this power by making rewards, likes, comments, interesting content appear at random intervals rather than on a predictable schedule. Think about it. When you post a photo on Instagram, you don't know exactly how many likes you'll get or when they'll start coming in. This uncertainty creates anticipation that keeps you checking back frequently. Similarly, when you refresh your Twitter feed or TikTok, you never know exactly what content you'll see. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it's fascinating. This unpredictability keeps you pulling the lever of the slot machine, hoping for a dopamine jackpot. The designers of these platforms understand human psychology at a profound level. They know that our brains evolved in an environment where immediate rewards were rare and worth pursuing. Our ancestors who paid attention to immediate rewards, like finding food, survived, so our brains are hardwired to chase quick dopamine hits. Social media exploits this ancient wiring in a modern context. Let's talk about something called the attention economy. In today's digital landscape, companies are essentially competing for your attention. Every minute you spend on Facebook is a minute you're not spending on TikTok, YouTube, or Netflix. This fierce competition has led to increasingly sophisticated tactics designed to capture and maintain your focus. One particularly effective strategy is the implementation of infinite scrolling. Notice how most social media platforms no longer have next page buttons. Instead, new content loads automatically as you scroll down. This simple design choice removes natural breaking points where you might otherwise decide to stop using the app. Without these moments of pause and decision, it becomes remarkably easy to continue scrolling indefinitely. Another tactic is the strategic use of notifications. Have you noticed how apps use red, the color most likely to grab our attention, for notification badges? Or how they sometimes delay notifications to arrive at moments when you haven't used the app for a while? These aren't coincidences. They're calculated decisions designed to bring you back to the platform when your engagement is waning. The fear of missing out, commonly known as FOMO, is another powerful psychological driver that social media companies leverage effectively. By showing you highlights from friends' lives and trending content, these platforms create anxiety that you're missing important social information or cultural moments. This fear keeps you checking in frequently, even when you're engaged in other activities. Now, let's discuss how social media affects our brain at a neurological level. Studies using MRI technology have shown that social media use activates the same brain regions as addictive substances. The nucleus accumbens, sometimes called the brain's reward center, lights up when we receive likes or positive social feedback online. Over time, Frequent social media use can actually change the structure and function of your brain. Heavy users show reduced gray matter in regions responsible for self-control, while the reward pathways become increasingly sensitive to social media stimuli. This physical remodeling of the brain explains why breaking a social media habit can feel as difficult as overcoming other types of addiction. Particularly concerning is how these platforms affect developing brains. Teenagers, whose prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision, making and impulse control, is still developing, are especially vulnerable to social media addiction. Studies have linked excessive social media use in adolescents to increased rates of depression, anxiety, sleep problems, and decreased life satisfaction. But let's not place all the blame on technology companies. We also need to understand our own individual vulnerabilities. Some people are naturally more susceptible to social media addiction than others, often due to underlying factors like loneliness and social isolation, which can drive us to seek connection, online stress, and anxiety, which we might try to escape through digital distraction. Low self-esteem, which can lead to seeking validation through likes and comments, boredom, and lack of stimulating alternatives in our daily lives. Existing mental health conditions like depression, which can be temporarily relieved by the dopamine hits from social media. Understanding your personal triggers can help you develop a more tailored approach to managing your relationship with technology. Now, let's expand on the strategies we discussed earlier and add some additional techniques for breaking free from social media's grips. Let's talk about digital minimalism. This philosophy, popularized by computer science professor Cal Newport, involves being intentional about which technologies you use. Instead of asking, "Is there any potential harm in using this app?" ask, "Does this app provide substantial benefits that significantly improve my life?" If not, consider eliminating it entirely. Try implementing tech Sabbaths, designated periods when you completely disconnect from technology. This might be 1 day per week, 1 weekend per month, or even just a few hours each evening. These periods of digital silence allow your brain to reset and remember what life was like before constant connectivity. Consider adopting the social media as a tool, not a lifestyle, mindset. This means using social platforms for specific purposes, like keeping in touch with distant friends or promoting your business, rather than as a default activity whenever you have free time. Access these tools intentionally, complete your specific task, and then close them. Curate your feeds aggressively. If certain accounts or types of content leave you feeling inadequate, jealous, or anxious, don't hesitate to unfollow, mute, or block them. Your digital environment affects your mental state just as much as your physical environment. Practice mindful usage by asking yourself 3 questions before opening any social media app. Why am I opening this app right now? How am I feeling? And is there something better I could be doing with this time? This brief moment of reflection can often break the automatic habit pattern. Try the one screen rule. Only use one digital device at a time. No scrolling through Instagram while watching Netflix. No checking Twitter while working on your laptop. This reduces the total amount of digital stimulation your brain receives and makes you more aware of how you're spending your time. Consider using physical reminders of your goals and values. Place a note on your phone case with an important question like, "Is this worth your time?" or a picture of something meaningful you're working toward. These visual cues can interrupt automatic habits and reconnect you with your deeper priorities. Develop replacement behaviors for the emotional needs that social media currently fulfills. If you turn to Instagram when you're feeling lonely, plan to call a friend instead. If you check Twitter when you're bored, keep an engaging book nearby. If TikTok is your stress relief, try learning a quick meditation technique. Let's also address the potential pushback you might face when trying to reduce your social media usage. Friends might question why you're not responding to messages as quickly. Colleagues might expect you to stay updated on work communications outside of business hours. Family members might not understand why you're not liking their photos as often. Dealing with these social expectations requires clear communication. Explain to important people in your life that you're trying to be more intentional with your digital habits. Let them know the best ways to reach you for truly important matters. Most people will respect your boundaries once they understand your reasons. Remember that moderation, not complete elimination, is often the most sustainable approach for most people. The goal isn't necessarily to never use social media again, it's to transform your relationship with these platforms from compulsive to intentional. Think of social media like dessert, enjoyable in small, occasional portions, but unhealthy as a primary source of nourishment. You wouldn't eat cake for every meal, so why would you let social media consume most of your free time? It's also worth noting that not all screen time is equal. Using technology to learn a new skill, connect meaningfully with others, or create something of value is fundamentally different from passive, mindless consumption. The question isn't simply how much time you spend on devices, but how that time enhances or diminishes your life. Let's talk about the withdrawal period. If you've been heavily using social media, expect to feel uncomfortable when you first cut back. You might experience anxiety and restlessness, difficulty concentrating, checking your pocket for your phone, even when it's not there, feeling out of the loop on current events or friends' lives, boredom, and uncertainty about how to fill your time. These feelings are completely normal and typically peak within the first 3-7 days before gradually subsiding. Understanding that these uncomfortable sensations are temporary can help you push through the initial difficulty. As you reduce your social media usage, you'll likely notice some positive changes. Improved ability to focus on tasks without distraction, better quality sleep, and more consistent sleep patterns, reduced feelings of anxiety, and FOMO, more authentic connections with the people physically present in your life, a surprising amount of free time that you can redirect toward meaningful activities, greater awareness of your surroundings, and increased mindfulness, improved posture, and reduced physical discomfort from hunching over screens. These benefits compound over time, creating a virtuous cycle that makes maintaining your new habits easier. One particularly powerful practice is keeping a time log for a few days where you record exactly how you spend each hour. This objective record often reveals shocking patterns. Many people discover they're spending twice as much time on social media as they estimated. This awareness alone can be a powerful motivator for change. Another helpful technique is the opportunity cost exercise. For each hour you typically spend on social media, write down 3 things you could accomplish in that time instead. This might include reading 30 pages of a book, taking a refreshing walk, learning several new vocabulary words in a foreign language, or having a meaningful conversation with someone you care about. Seeing these alternatives clearly outlined helps you recognize what you're sacrificing for those hours of scrolling. It transforms abstract, wasted time into concrete lost opportunities for parents concerned about their children's social media habits. Remember that modeling healthy digital behavior is far more effective than simply setting rules. If your children see you constantly checking your phone, they'll naturally adopt the same behavior regardless of what limitations you try to impose on their usage. Instead, demonstrate the balanced relationship with technology that you want them to develop. Have regular family discussions about how various apps and platforms are designed to be addictive. Teach critical thinking skills that help them question whether what they see online reflects reality. Most importantly, ensure they have access to engaging offline activities that provide the social connection, entertainment, and sense of accomplishment that social media artificially simulates. In our professional lives, social media and digital addiction can significantly impact productivity and job satisfaction. Many workplaces now encourage constant connectivity, checking emails outside working hours, participating in work-related social media groups, or using collaboration tools that send notifications 24/7. Setting clear digital boundaries at work might include designating specific times to check email rather than keeping it open continuously, turning off notifications from work-related apps outside business hours, using Do Not Disturb features with reasonable response. Time limits and supervise using separate devices or colleague accounts for both your productivities when in productivity. If possible, member and throw quickly, using noted by how quickly you respond to message word response exploring passing all the messages, but by the value you create through focused, meaningful work. Another important consideration is digital privacy. Many people don't realize that reducing social media usage also means reducing the amount of personal data you're providing to these companies. Every like, comment, search, and click is tracked to build an increasingly detailed profile of your preferences, which is then used to target you with advertising, or, in some cases, sold to third parties. Taking back control of your attention also means taking back control of your personal information. This added privacy benefit may provide extra motivation for limiting your social media exposure. As we begin to wrap up this exploration of social media addiction, I want to emphasize that the goal isn't to demonize technology itself. Social media platforms have brought many positive innovations. They've connected distant friends and family, given voice to marginalized communities, facilitated social movements, and democratized the sharing of information in unprecedented ways. The problem isn't the existence of these tools, it's our relationship with them. When we use social media mindfully and intentionally, it can genuinely enhance our lives. It's only when usage becomes excessive, automatic, and driven by manipulation rather than conscious choice that problems arise. Imagine a future where you're in complete control of your relationship with technology. You use social media when it genuinely benefits you, to maintain long-distance friendships, to learn about important events, to share your creative work, or to find like-minded communities. But it doesn't control your attention, dictate your emotions, or steal hours of your life without your conscious consent. This balanced relationship with digital technology is entirely possible, but it requires awareness, intention, and consistent effort to achieve. The strategies we've discussed today provide a roadmap for reclaiming your attention and using it in ways that align with your true values and goals. As you move forward, be patient and compassionate with yourself. Breaking any habitual behavior takes time, and you may experience setbacks along the way. If you find yourself falling back into old patterns, don't waste energy on self-criticism. Simply notice what triggered the relapse, learn from it, and recommit to your intentions. Remember that you're working against some of the most sophisticated attention capturing technology ever created, designed by thousands of brilliant minds, specifically to keep you engaged. The fact that breaking free requires effort doesn't reflect any personal weakness. It's a testament to how effective these systems are at manipulating human psychology. The journey toward digital balance isn't about perfect adherence to a set of rules. It's about progressively reclaiming your autonomy and attention, one day and one decision at a time. Each time you choose to put down your phone and engage with the real world, you're strengthening neural pathways that support this healthier pattern of behavior. In many ways, the battle for your attention is the defining challenge of the digital age. The quality of your life, your relationships, your accomplishments, your happiness depends largely on where you direct your finite attention. Will you give it to algorithms designed to maximize engagement metrics and advertising revenue? Or will you reclaim it for experiences, people, and pursuits that bring genuine meaning and fulfillment? The power to answer this question lies entirely in your hands. Actually, it lies in your hands right now, perhaps literally, if you're holding your phone while listening to this podcast. What will you do when this episode ends? Will you automatically open another app and begin scrolling? Or will you take a moment to look up, look around, and engage with the world beyond your screen? Your next move, however small it might seem, is the beginning of your answer. Before we close, let's recap the key strategies for breaking free from social media addiction first. Understand that these platforms are intentionally designed to be addictive. Turn off notifications to prevent constant interruptions. Use the 5-second rule to break automatic checking habits. Set specific time limits for social media usage. Replace digital scrolling with meaningful world activities. Make your phone less dependent on social apps. Try a 7-day completely closed by highly using truly official radio technology. Internet pages, experience like social habits. Not as a default activity. Curate your feeds to remove content that triggers negative emotions. Practice mindful usage by questioning your intentions before opening app screen. Overall digital stimulation. Use physical reminders of disrupt automatic habits. Develop alternate emotional needs social media currently fulfills. Clearly communicate your changing digital habits and family. They aim for moderation rather than complete elimination in most cases. Distinct between purposeful technology use and passive consumption. Expect and prepare for withdrawal symptoms in the first week. Keep a time log to objectively track how you spend your hours. Consider the Oxford scrolling motto, healthy digital habits for children and younger people in your life. Their shapes behavior macros in the professional life. Appreciate the comparison benefits. Reduce your patient needs for me moisture than vulnerability. Your level some of the people I hope this episode has given you valuable insights and practical strategies for developing a healthier relationship with social media and technology. If you've found this content helpful, please consider subscribing to English Listening Practice for more episodes that will help you improve your language skills while also providing useful information for living your best life. Don't forget to share this episode with friends who might benefit from it, and leave a comment letting me know which strategies you plan to implement first. Your engagement helps this podcast reach more people who can benefit from these important discussions. Until next time, remember that your attention is your most valuable resource. Invest it wisely. This is Grace from English Listening Practice, signing off.